last week, school started. So I had to find a job that was flexible in hours. And I thought, hey, how about DoorDash? Perfect. So I hit up my friend who does DoorDash. We went to the office on the app after signing up and putting all your information online, creating an account. And the guy who was at the office was like, it's pretty easy. All you gotta do is just follow these rules and you'll be fine. So after the whole paperwork thing and getting my red card, which is a card they give you in case you need to purchase an order for a customer, you don't have to use your money, you can use the company card. Got the card, I got the bag, I got the shirt. I heard you have to pay for the shirt in some places, but I'm not sure how that works. I just grabbed the shirt and the bag, and it came with this thing inside that you have to helps keep the food warm. I think it's aluminum foil. Anyways, after that, my friend was like, "Download this app." He had an iPhone, and I have an Android. I downloaded the Android version. Didn't really work that well, so I ended up getting QuickBooks Self-Employed, and as you can see there, and what it does is with your GPS on, and you have to leave it on the days you need it, even though it kills your battery. It tracks your movements, and then you can claim that for your taxes. Then you can decide to pay your taxes quarterly, like 4 times a year, or you could just pay it all at once when tax season comes. So remember to put aside a certain amount of taxes. Just look up your state's tax, your federal government tax percentages, and all that crap. So then he told me also when you go and put fuel, or if you go and put, um, say you go and get a car wash, you can claim that as well. Just keep the receipts, and the application lets you take a picture of them actually, but still keep the receipts. So when you go to your taxes, you have all the proof, because it's a timestamp and all that stuff that you need. So finally, it was time to do my first dash. And my friend, of course, he took me on a ride along, and he showed me the proper way to do things. And if you freak out, you can call, you can chat with support, and they help you, solve like a big issue. But that's only if things go really bad. So it kind of tells you during the training, when you get the training done online, it tells you how to do all that. So now it's my first dash. I'm alone in my car. I made sure to bring a charger because my phone has an issue. It's an old phone. Anyways, charger really, you should really have a charger. Number one. And know the city you want to drive in. The city I chose, been living there for a few years, so I knew all the back roads in case of traffic. I knew where to park and all that stuff. So I finally go to my first restaurant, and the way the app works is it shows you an image of an order that you would like to take, and then you decide if you want it or not. So it shows you like where you are in the GPS maps because it asks you, do you want to use Waze if you have the app installed, or do you want to use Google Maps? Of course, I chose Google Maps because of my location, and it shows you your distance relative to the restaurant and the destination where you're supposed to take the food. So in my head, I'd look at that and be like, I know how many miles that is, and I was thinking round trip because I'd have to go out of my way, then come back to where the restaurants are. It's like a hot zone where most of the restaurants are. So when you get an order, it's like so close. Sometimes you could even get a double order, which happened a couple of times um, during my first week. And I believe my first day I made about $100. That's including tip and everything, and that's gross, by the way. That's not after taxes, so you have to remember that part. So if state taxes, hypothetically speaking, all combined, state and federal, is like 10%. I pretty much just made like 80 something, $90. Say you get the order uh, on your phone, and you say, okay, fine, I'll take it. Makes sense now. So you click, okay, or whatever option it gives you. Because I'm on Android, I don't know how it might look. Because most people have an iPhone. So you go to the restaurant, then it says slide after arrival. Once you slide after arrival, it shows you the person's name and the items to order. Sometimes they order drinks, so you gotta have like cup holders so that you don't spill drinks in your car and stuff. And You go in and you do a checklist with the person, say a takeout or the to go counter or whoever is there at the restaurant. You look at the list and then you decide. I don't know. They tell you, okay, we got that, we got that, we got everything's good. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and they're not being rude. It's just that most people are in a rush, so they'll just be like, everything's there, you're good, go. And you're like, oh wow. And in the app it tells you once you've checked everything off, make sure you have utensils, napkins, extra sauces, all that stuff, and drinks, right? And I would ask like, do you have napkins and sauces and most people would just like brush you off and walk away. So don't take it personally. It's just they're in a rush and you will be in a rush after like 2 days because you realize the faster you are at things, the more money you can make. So at first I was averaging like an order. Took me like 45 minutes to go there, get it, and take it to the place because I'm still getting used to everything, and it's cool not to have a boss, so you're not being rushed to anything. But eventually, I decided if I really want to make the $25 an hour they advertise, I'd have to do 2 to 2.5 orders every hour. So you have to be very fast. Sometimes I would like come to the restaurant, put off my car really fast, go inside, take the order really quickly, just show them the phone and they know everything. I grab it, throw utensils in if they have them outside. And then I'll go back in to my car and slide after I've picked it up, and it shows you like a little map. And then you click on the icon for navigation, and it opens from the Android app. It opens Google Maps and it shows you location. Although sometimes I will say Google Maps doesn't get the right address because it's been on the whole day and technology fails us all the time. So I would say every time you're done with the delivery, like actually close out of Google Maps because you don't want to have the last address there and you go to the wrong address because you waste time. Happened, well, almost happened to me once. So I'm kind of catching myself now more than before. When you arrive to the house, sometimes it's simple. It's just the house address, so you can see the front door, big numbers. Other times it could be an apartment complex. Like I remember just the other day, this apartment complex I had. I remember it was a letter and some numbers, and I was looking everywhere for them, and I could not find it. There was no map of the apartment building. At this point, I just called the person and told them, "Hey, could you meet me by the swimming pool area?" Because I was there, and they came and met me, and it was quick, and I left. So sometimes I do that. All in all, it's a really easy job. Like it just takes common sense to do this job. You gotta know how to work the application before you start. I would say do like a test run with someone who's doing Doordash, or if you want to just start off alone, you can do that. Just make sure, just remember your training, pretty much. A couple tips I would like to give people so far, like things that I wish someone told me, kind of thing, or I was told maybe wasn't listening, which is most of the time, but not really. The distance thing, just make sure you don't end up driving because some trips are like from one city like 2 cities away. And then the thing is, this is your starting point, so you'd have to drive back, and then that's why the application, like the QuickBooks one, it helps you track those mileage so you can claim it in your taxes. I'm not sure how much they pay you per mile back, but you won't get everything back. I don't think so, but make sure to always have a paper bag with the food from the whatever restaurant you get for. Ask for like bags, shopping bags, and then you can put them inside these things because these things make it easier to carry. Because sometimes the bag could just rip apart and all the food falls, and it's your fault. You'd have to call support or chat with them. Another thing I would say is traffic. Oh my gosh, traffic is crazy. Like rush hour is all the cars on the road. You just have to be careful um, when you're driving in traffic because you could hit your car and you don't want that to happen, or you could spill a drink in your car. So try and get extra cup holders. I noticed a lot of people who use DoorDash always expect you to have a lot of like napkins, sauces, utensils, that kind of thing. So I always make sure I grab those. Sometimes other people don't give you that, but I just make sure I grab it. So when they grab the food, it's like, whoa, there's so much inside. It kind of helps them give you a 5 star automatically. Sometimes when you're driving, you'd see another dasher. Just chat with them if you can. Just ask them for tips and advice. Um, Sometimes they might not always want to give you advice. So just Another thing is you have to schedule in advance now. It's like a new thing I was told. But I noticed one day I didn't really schedule, but when I went to the city on the map, it was red, and when I clicked on it, it said, "Oh, you can dash." So I think some people don't always show up to their shifts. There's always opening spots. So I'd say, even if you say you want to work from like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., but it's only open at noon. You're like, I want to start those 2 hours before. Go at 10 to the city because you will find a spot, either that city or the cities around it. There's always someone who never shows up at work. We know that guy. It's not a question I'm sure all of you have in your mind now. Is how much money can you really make doing DoorDash? And that to answer that question simply, it depends. Because you could work like I have a friend who worked, I believe it was a Sunday. He worked from the morning till the night, and he was able to make about 260 something dollars that day doing 21 deliveries. So the whole day he was able to make 260 something dollars. So I mean, if he's capable of doing that, I'm sure you guys can do that. I'm not saying you have to make that crazy amount of money a day, but it is possible. This is a job I can see myself keeping because all the jobs I've had before, dealing with the boss, you guys know how that is, especially when you're a college student and you're doing like a minimum wage job. Your mind's not really there, you know? So this is perfect for people who want to make their own schedule and they want to be their own boss in a way, you know? Make quick money. You're paid weekly, I think, on a Monday where I am. I think my first paycheck actually came in last night. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just put them down below. If you like this video and want to see more, subscribe. A lot more random stuff is about to come out.